This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky Morning Start on WKYT, and we're glad you're with us. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a fabulous day before Friday. A lawsuit waging between two of Kentucky's top government officials will be heard by the state Supreme Court today. More in the case surrounding university budget cuts ahead.
Also here at 6:30, we have more details coming up as Lexington police say a person was injured after a late night hit and run. We'll have the details coming up on that story this morning.
Yes, as well as this other story we are working on, the state fair. Don't we all love that? You can just smell the fried Twinkies in the air right now, right? We're going to have the latest on that coming up.
And we're looking at some showers out there early this morning. Southern half right now, southern half basically by the afternoon too. That is your best bet today. But it's not done with, okay? We still have the rain chance now through the weekend, but it's not for everybody either. I'll show you exactly where I expect that and your weekend forecast coming up.
All right, let's get right to the news. A big day at the state capitol today. Governor Matt Bevin's university budget cuts case will go before the Kentucky Supreme Court later this morning.
Michelle Chamberlain is at our alert desk with details.
Yeah, with the start of school right around the corner, state colleges and universities are left adjusting to financial changes. The school is uncertain as to how much money they will receive from the state. Now, the state Supreme Court is scheduled to hear arguments today in a lawsuit filed by Attorney General Andy Beshear over Matt Bevin's decision to reduce the allotments of the state's public colleges and universities. Beshear says the state legislature controls state spending, and Bevin's order reducing the institution's allotments by nearly $18 million was illegal because lawmakers did not approve it. Bevin argues lawmakers give money to state agencies, and the governor, as the state's chief executive, can order some of those agencies not to spend all of the money. A state judge ruled in Bevin's favor in May. Now we'll wait on the decision from the Supreme Court. The hearing is scheduled for this morning at 10 o'clock.
Oral arguments in that, so we'll see how it goes this morning. New on WKYT this morning, police are investigating a late-night hit-and-run crash in Lexington. It happened on Gunbow Court near Center Parkway around 10:30 last night. Police say a group of young adults and older teens were playing basketball in the street when a car hit one of them. Investigators say the driver quickly took off, but they are having a hard time tracking that person down because the victim and the witnesses were uncooperative with the investigation. Police say the person hit only suffered minor injuries.
A woman accused of badly injuring a man in a hit-and-run crash nearly 10 years ago is expected to make a plea deal today. Lexington police say Carmela Velasco hit Ronald Woolhams along Versailles Road in 2006, but it wasn't until this February that Velasco turned herself into police. Today, she's expected to plead guilty to leaving the scene. Woodlum says that the plea deal is upsetting, saying he's left with lifelong consequences. Velasco, he says, is only facing misdemeanors. Woolhams lost a leg following the hit-and-run crash and has been wheelchair-bound ever since.
Well, this took a while to solve, but new this morning, a man accused of 2 robberies is now facing charges.
Yeah, police say James Bell managed to pull off the thefts within a few hours of each other, but managed to avoid being arrested for more than a month. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is live with details of the case.
Good morning, Rebecca. All is quiet out here this morning, but police say a couple months back there was quite the scene. This is the entrance where police say a man tackled James Bell after Bell allegedly stole that man's wallet. But police also say Bell was able to escape that man's grip by sliding out of a jacket he was wearing. The report describes Bell running to a green car parked across the street and speeding toward New Circle Road. The jacket left behind, police say, contains some pretty telling items, including Bell's wallet and social security card. It wasn't until hours later on that same day police received another report, this time a robbery over Officer Barton Way. The manager at Sally's Beauty Supply told police a man she identified as Bell was looking around her store. She says she helped him find a product and then took him to the counter to pay, but says that's when things took a turn. She says Bell demanded money from the drawer and claimed to have a gun, so she cooperated. As for the 38-year-old Lexington man, he's recently been arrested and he's now behind bars, charged with robbery and theft, and he's set for arraignment later today in court. Live in Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
All right, thank you very much, Caitlin. A day filled with rain showers is what we had yesterday, off and on at least. Much of central and eastern Kentucky will see some drier conditions today, but we do have some showers out there now.
Yeah, some things to let you know about with Micah and our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, we're seeing some showers, Cumberland Parkway and down toward Hal Rogers Parkway. That's your best bet. That's where you could see that rain, not only this morning, but that's the best chance by the afternoon, too. So if you're sitting in the southern half of our viewing area, know this, that most of your day will have on and off showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms mixed in later on today. Jamestown, the heaviest rain just moved out of you guys. Burnside heads up. It's heading toward you as you make your way down 27 just south of Somerset. And one actually rolling off into Clay County, too. Manchester, the brunt of it actually stays just to the north of you. So northern Clay, as you work your way down 421. Looks pretty wet early this morning. And so the showers are south now, and they'll mainly be there by the afternoon with a few thunderstorms mixed in. Not a big chance at flooding today, but as we always say, you can't rule it out, especially with the grounds the way they are. Now we head off into the next few days. Here comes another front. I'm going to show you what you can expect out of that, guys, for your weekend coming up.
And here's a hint. It looks really good after the weekend. Micah, thank you very much. A man accused of murdering his girlfriend back in 2014 has been found guilty. The trial for Paris Charles lasted more than a week, but it took a Fayette County jury just a couple of hours to find him guilty of murder and abuse of a corpse of Goldie Massey. Investigators say Massey's body was found in different locations, washed up along the Kentucky River a few weeks after she disappeared. During the sentencing phase, Massey's sister was brought to tears as she testified.
Wondering if we're ever going to find any more of her. When the news comes on, they found body parts. We're always running to TV to see if they've identified as her or someone else.
The jury has recommended that Charles spend 36 years in prison. He will be eligible for parole in 20 years.
New this morning, a veteran bus driver in Louisville could lose his job after a kindergartner was found sleeping on his bus. Jefferson County public school officials say the student was alone for nearly an hour before he was found. They say the child is fine, but the school's chief operating officer, Mark Razor, says he is furious. He says every driver is required when they turn off their bus to walk to the back of the bus and check every seat to make sure no child is left there. Razor says the school has no tolerance for this type of mistake.
University of Louisville's athletic director says the school is still waiting on the results from the NCAA's investigation into the men's basketball program. The investigation stems from escort Katina Powell's claim that former Louisville basketball staffer Andre McGee hired her and other dancers for sex with players and recruits. In a radio interview, athletic director Tom Jurich said he does not know the results of the investigation, but he says whatever the NCAA decides, the school will, quote, deal with it up front.
Well, we have an update this morning on activity at the Centerpoint project. This time-lapse video from our Skycam yesterday shows equipment being moved out of the project site downtown. There's no word on why that equipment was moved. Crews have been working on an underground parking garage in recent months. Developers said it would be finished next spring. The Centerpoint project has been 8 years in the making.
The 112th Annual Kentucky State Fair gets underway today. The 11-day celebration in Louisville features hundreds of exhibits, as well as food, rides, concerts, and the World's Championship Horse Show. The celebration begins with a Kentucky Commodity Group Appreciation Breakfast. That's at 7 o'clock sharp, just a few minutes away. We talked to some folks from this area heading that way this morning. The main stage concert series also opens up today. Reba McEntire will be on stage, along with a special guest, Parma Lee. Fair admission is $10 this year. Always a good time over there.
Oh, yeah. Let's get a check of traffic, see what's happening out on the roads.
Let's go to Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Be careful in the Hamburg area. They're going to be working there later on the inner and outer loops of Man o' War. They're in a median between, looks like Pink Pigeon and all the way over to about the Helmsdale intersection. So expect delays there. For now, we're okay. Live look at overall Lexington traffic flow for the moment. Nicholasville Road still looks good. So does Harrodsburg Road. And a look outside, courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government. No significant issues to report. We're good to go right there at Alumni and New Circle. Of course, we'll keep you up to date throughout the morning Now back to you in the studio.
All right, see that school bus there heading off of the circle onto Alumni. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. It's great to have you with us. Here we are, Thursday morning on WKYT, rolling along toward that weekend. Our time right now, 6:40.
We have more news on the way. College football teams across the country are preparing for the upcoming season just weeks away. But a team in Louisiana trading in their cleats and picking up shovels to help their community devastated by flooding. The awesome act of kindness when we come back.
Little patchy fog this morning, a few scattered showers down south. That's the best chance for rain today. What about your Friday? High school football kicking off for some, and your weekend forecast with some more rain in it. That's coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have those showers down in southern Kentucky at this very moment, and as we continue to track into your afternoon, I don't see that changing much. So if you're sitting around the Cumberland Parkway, Cumberland region, and then work your way back towards southeastern Kentucky, Hal Rogers Parkway, that's where it's pretty wet this morning, and that is exactly where I expect the best chance of rain in the next several hours, because it just doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. So kids going off to the bus stop, that is going to be a wet go at it. And most of us are actually dry today, but it's really southern Kentucky that we actually pick up on some more rain for this day. Now, Somerset, Burnside, go into the Burnside Marina. That's where you're going to be seeing some of this rain sliding back toward the Hal Rogers Parkway once again. The heaviest rain in Clay County stays in northern Clay, coming out of northern portions of Laurel County and East Bernstadt. So that's where we're holding on to some of that rain at this moment. So bus stop forecast, kids going to the bus stop, mainly south, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Doesn't matter what time you're going. Most of that's going to be southern zones, central and northern zones. I don't see any problems there for the kiddos. Afternoon still looks like it's going to remain southbound. Still that area that we're picking up on some of that rain. You go farther north and the lesser likelihood that you'll actually see some rain today. So the best chance is down south, Hal Rogers Parkway and Cumberland Parkway. You're going to hear me say that a lot today because that's really basically the only chance that we see some rain. So let's go through your day on Saturday. Friday night football, by the way, looks like just a few storms here and there. Definitely not a washout, and most of us actually stay dry. Some of us don't kick off football until next weekend, but those who do this weekend, this Friday, Saturday, it looks like most of us will be dry. Just can't rule out a passing storm. For your Saturday, we got a lot of events going on. The Kentucky State Fair, that's number one. And you can see on Saturday, you will get bits and pieces of rain here and there, as most of your day will be dry. 40% chance of rain during the daylight hours. But nighttime hours, that's going to be a different story. And you can see Saturday night into Sunday. Look at that. Now you're talking about widespread rain. I'm not going to give you a timeline just yet in terms of 8, 9 p.m. is when it moves on in. Still too far out to do that. But Saturday night into Sunday morning is your best bet to actually see some rain. That means Sunday afternoon. Watch this. I want to show you this. This is not because of rain. It's not because of cloud cover. It's because of some much cooler air sliding on in. If you have plans Sunday afternoon outdoors, stick to them as of right now. Looks like temperatures will be there in the mid to upper 70s. If you don't have outdoor plans, make some. Trust me, you'll absolutely love the feel coming in toward late Sunday, off into early next week. There you go, 78 degrees Monday, 79 on Tuesday. Guys, do you remember, let's see, this was about 4 days ago. We actually walked in here 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was 77 degrees. Huh. Now we're talking about a high temperature toward the afternoon at 77. That's some good news. And finally, people will stop yelling at me about the weather, about these storms and this rain. Finally, I think I'll get a few handshakes, a few hugs after this one next week. We'll see.
Oh, you get them anyway. You get them anyway. They like you out there. Right. All right. Micah, thank you so much. And we look forward to that good weather that is coming.
Yes, we do. That's great news. Well, the state of Louisiana is still trying to recover after historic deadly flooding forced thousands from their homes. While help has come from all over the country, one community is receiving help from a rather unlikely source.
Youngsville was one of the counties and communities there devastated by the floodwaters. That water is starting to recede, but homeowners are still left with a very difficult task of cleaning up. Enter the University of Louisiana at Lafayette football team. Folks were shocked as the Ragin' Cajuns' entire football program showed up to help. Many living in the devastated neighborhood called it a beautiful act of kindness.
We're working on 3 hours a night, 4 hours a night with the worry of what to do next. trying to stay focused. And then a bus of football players showed up, and it was a beautiful moment.
That's really moving, and with the season starting in just a few weeks, the team is normally practicing twice, even 3 times a day this time of year. But the coaches and the players said helping out the community was much bigger than a sport, and they were glad to be able to help in any way possible. That's a great story.
Yeah, it is.
That's a coach who said, let's go make a difference, you know. It is 6:48 right now.
We have more news. Stay with us.
Coming up, an inferno with a ferocity rarely ever seen. We're on the front lines of California's Blue Cut wildfire. Plus, Donald Trump's new campaign manager joins us after another shakeup in the candidate's staff. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
6:51 on WKYT This Morning. Coming up at 7, it's CBS This Morning. An army of photographers are capturing millions of images of the Olympics and the athletes in Rio. And CBS goes behind the scenes to show the state-of-the-art technology being used to create those perfect, iconic action shots.
Also, you can do too much sitting, or can't too much sitting, I should say, be killing you slowly, even if you exercise. Well, that's a lovely thought this morning. Doctors share why you need to get up and get moving. Okay, we'll do then.
Sitting,
get up.
Sitting is no good for long periods of time, right?
It is not. Police have arrested a man who they suspect stole from a man at a Lexington Rite Aid and robbed a Lexington beauty store in May.
And that's one of the stories making headlines this morning on WKYT.com. Michelle Chamberlain joins us now with a look at what is trending on the web.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, they say during the Rite Aid theft, the man left behind his jacket. In the jacket was his wallet and a Social Security card. This morning, that man will face a Fayette County judge. Police are investigating after a hit and run in Lexington. They say it happened just after 10:30 on Gumbo Court near Center Parkway. Police say some young adults and older teens were playing basketball at the end of the street when a car hit one of them, then drove off. The victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And the Kentucky State Fair begins today in Louisville. The 11-day celebration begins with a breakfast which starts just a few minutes from now at 7 o'clock this morning. And if you're planning on going to the fair, it should be a decent day weather-wise. Micah isn't ruling out a chance of rain, but things should stay mostly dry throughout the day. Check out his Facebook page and keep up to date on that. You can also get all the stories we talked about this morning and more on our website, WKYT.com.
Yeah, it should be fun. Reba McEntire on stage over there at the State Fair today as things kick off. Well, more than 1,000 firefighters in Southern California are now working to try to get this massive Blue Cut wildfire under control.
The fire has burned through 24,000 acres in just 36 hours. Fire officials have not been able to count the number of homes and buildings burned. Tom Waite is in Wrightwood, California, where firefighters are working to try and save the town.
The inferno raged on for a second night in San Bernardino County. Fire crews are paying particular attention to the ski town of Wrightwood, where flames are inching closer and closer to homes.
Hopefully, these guys will take care of it, and then we can be safe because we got no place to go.
The Blue Cut fire has already managed to scorch thousands of acres and destroy countless homes, many in the town of Phelan. Homeowner Ron Ramirez able to return home yesterday to find his dogs safe and his property still standing.
All the houses across the street are to the ground. Everything is burnt to the foundation, so I didn't have much hope for our place, but we were fortunate.
Despite a mandatory evacuation order in Wrightwood, some homeowners have mixed feelings about leaving their properties.
It's my home. Would you leave your home?
Our cars are lined up and ready to go if we have to go.
Kathy Mattingly of CAL FIRE has warned against staying behind.
Last summer we did lose some people. Fire behavior changed and they refused to leave, and there were lives lost.
So far, more than 82,000 people have been forced to evacuate. Tom Waite for CBS News, Wrightwood, California.
Hot, dry, and breezy conditions will continue today. Red flag conditions remain in effect for San Bernardino County through 9 o'clock tonight.
Big challenges out there. Well, developing international news this morning, Turkish officials say 2 car bombings targeting police stations have killed at least 6 people and wounded more than 200. One attack late last night was on a police station in the eastern province of Van. Another bombing this morning has hit police headquarters in the eastern Turkish city of Elazig. Authorities are blaming the attacks on the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which has recently launched a campaign of car bombings. More details coming up shortly from CBS on that.
The moving Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall will be in Rockcastle County for the next few days. The Vietnam Vets Wall is a half-size replica of the Washington, D.C. Memorial and has been touring the country for more than 30 years. Today it will be on display at the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Renfro Valley until Monday. It'll be open 24 hours a day. Volunteers will also be on site to help visitors find names. A ceremony to honor the wall's arrival will be held at the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame later this evening.
A newly built bourbon distillery in Shelby County is planning to make history today. Workers at the Jephthah Creed Distillery in Shelbyville will fill the first barrel of bourbon made in that county since before Prohibition. Beginning next week, the distillery will be in full production. Jephthah Creed Distillery opens to the public in October. All right, we're going to check weather. We anticipate we have another couple of days of this unsettled weather before it gets a lot better. Let's check in with Micah.
That's exactly right. And look, we're going to have that chance to rain today, but remember this, if you're taking anything away from our forecast today, take this away from it today. Southern half will have the best chance of rain. Cumberland Parkway, Howard Rogers Parkway and southbound, that's your best chance. Lexington, 20%. Northern Kentucky, 10%. So it just shows you that most of us stay dry. Southern Kentucky with the best opportunity. That means kids going off to the bus stop in London, down in Somerset, Burnside, southern portions of Pulaski County, over toward Hazard, and also make your way into Leslie County. May run into a few showers early this morning, but here's the jot down, the real breakdown. As you can see there with the rain chance, best in the southern half of Kentucky. So most of us stay dry today.
Okay. We want to thank you for being with us, and nobody is more up to date than you since you were here with us on WKYT.
Have a great day.